Welcome students. In today's class we shall be discussing about the selection of suppliers and credit information required. So till now we have studied about the purchasing and the methods of purchasing along with the purchase procedure. Now this all depends upon a vital point of selection of the vendor or the supplier from whom we are to accept our goods. We have to purchase our goods. So let us discuss the selection of suppliers. In government departments, public sector undertaking and large public sector undertaking, you all must be familiar with the term of PSUs, and large business houses, the supply of all of the items of daily use are received through supplier who are in their approved list. Now how this is prepared, how this approved list is prepared? See here, prepare the approved list of suppliers. Questionnaire is sent to various suppliers. Now this approved list of suppliers questionnaire is sent to, it is a type of a form that is sent to various suppliers. All the suppliers answer our queries as per the options mentioned in that, and after receiving these questionnaires the approved list of supplier is prepared. So after receiving the responses from them, we can filter out the vendors or the suppliers that are as per the requirement of our goods. Now how this is prepared? Now while preparing the questionnaire, or we can say while preparing the approved list, the following points should be considered. Number 1, the reputation of the supplier in the market. It is generally the goodwill of supplier. It depends upon its previous records plus the life of business. For example, if a new vendor is receiving 50 orders a year, but his business is only 2 years old, whereas another business house who is receiving only 30 orders per year, but the business house is having a consistent performance from last 50 years. So the second vendor is more reliable and faithful than the first one. The next one is the financial condition of the supplier. It is quite important. We cannot select a supplier who is having a higher debt record, because such suppliers are not reliable and they may cause us losses. Then manufacturing capabilities of the supplier, they should be considered because it directly relates to the time frame, because if the manufacturing capabilities are quite high, then the supplier can even supply us the required amount of goods in a lesser time. But if the manufacturing units are too small or a third party manufacturing is even carried out, that means an extra time will be added and which will cost us in the inventory, as well as shortage in demand will also prevail. The next one is capability of the supplier to supply at a short notice. So the suppliers who can supply the goods at a short notice are more preferable. Then after sale services facilities provided by the supplier. If any vendor is providing extra facilities other than that of sales, such vendors are more helpful because they provide extra facilities such as that of repair, or we can say the expiry products can be purchased back by them. So such suppliers should be given more notice than others. Then the terms and condition of payment. So what are the terms and conditions? These should be flexible. Any astringent or strict terms and condition of payment are not acceptable, and this may hinder in the business in future. So the vendors with flexible terms and conditions for payment are more reliable and favorable for our smooth functioning. So students, what is the credit information associated with them? The credit information through which the items can be bought or sold without making the cash payment. See here, no cash is involved. It is only basis of credit, on the basis of credit. Whenever any sale deed is done between a buyer and a seller, the terms of payment is also finalized in order to avoid any misunderstanding at the later stage. So, this is the important aspect. It is a very important point, because the terms and conditions are quite important to sign a particular deal. The sale of merchandise is done either on cash or on credit basis. In pharmaceutical marketing, 45 days are generally provided for credit facility by manufacturer to the wholesaler. So, this credit time period not only provides the wholesaler to sell their products, but also help to conduct the business smoothly without the involvement of cash. This facility is not for new wholesalers in the initial stage. So, initially every wholesaler will have to pay, but as they gain more experience, they can avail this credit facility from manufacturers. A wholesaler usually gives 21 days credit facility to retail business. So, see here, if a manufacturer is providing 45 days to a wholesaler and a wholesaler is providing only 21 days to the retailer, it means it can twice sell the products and can gain the profits, so that it can pay them back to the manufacturer. The credit facility is operated as such. Nowadays, a substantial amount of trading involves credit. Credit is not a new term, it is quite common nowadays. It is advantageous to both the buyer and the seller. When the sale is done on credit, it will certainly increase the sale, but involves the risk of bad debts and delayed payments. The case of NPAs, non-performing assets, sometimes the bad debts and delayed payments becomes non-performing and they ultimately lead to a loss in the capital also. The following credit information may be obtained through the buyer before selling on credit. Now, what kind of information should be sorted out from the about the buyer? He should be honest, first of all, then reliable, trustworthy, and having reputation of fairness and justice. Financial position of the buyer. First one was the character and the next one is financial position. This is quite important. This is done to know the financial position of the buyer in order to find the capacity to pay the debts. Then the assets and liabilities. The third one is assets and liabilities. The information helps to judge its state of business. These information can be obtained by going through the financial statements of the firm, bank reference and the salesman report. So, students, we have learned about the credit information and among this how it is helpful and what are the features of the buyers. So, this was all about the selection of supplier and credit information. In our next class, we will be understanding the other formats of purchasing that are mainly referred to as tenders and contracts. Tenders and contracts. So, in our next class, we shall be studying these two. Till then, revise the concept of suppliers and credit information.